Hey guys, Alex here. I wanted to take a look at some rhythmizer techniques, especially some of the ones that came up in the demo video a few people have asked about. So first of all is that sample and slice and retrigger. It looks a bit like this. So first I'm going to show you that in Cubase, then I'm going to show you that in Live. So let's record a sample. Let's find out how we can trigger and slice a sample in Futurephonic Rhythmizer in Cubase. That's our sample, so we want to slice that up and rearrange it with the sampler. So I'm going to open up a Groove Agent. So then we're going to drag this into C1. I'm going to go to Slice. You can see it sort of found all the slices there. I'm just going to do Create Slices. And that's now spread the sample out across 30 cells. Okay, and I want to remember that number, 30 cells, because I want to trigger at random between these 30 cells. So I'm going to mute that. We're going to open up a Rhythmizer. We're going to draw our long note at C1. This corresponds to C1 being our bottom cell there. And I'm going to go to Groove Agent, Rhythmizer, MIDI output, and monitor. So now Groove Agent is monitoring the Rhythmizer's output. Let's loop that. Okay, so that's triggering just the first sample. So we want to go to chromatic mode. The chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is literally every note on the piano. So that's where the chromatic scale is. And it's great for samplers because we want to hit every single cell. So remember we had 30 cells. So I want to choose from 30. Now I'm going to turn the probability up quite high. A high probability means there's a 99% chance that it won't play the first note. If I put the probability down there, it's going to be playing mostly the first note, which we don't want. So, nice high probability. So already you're getting that nice random slicing trigger. I'm going to take everything in this first sort of page of cells and I'm going to pan it slightly to the left. I'm going to take everything in the second page, pan it slightly to the right. Then I'm going to hit Control A, which is going to select everything. And then I'm going to go to Pitch and Random Pitch. Also put some, that's actually a little bit too much I think, so let's put some random velocity. Let's put some random gating. I'm going to put a 3/16, so a dotted loop time. And let's finish off the job by putting some processing on this. So I was playing around with this free plugin here. I found quite a cool little preset. What was it? ID. Instead of having random pitch, we could have just a higher pitch. So this would also be great for slicing up a drum loop, slicing up really anything that Cubase will acknowledge as having slices. So let's check out some sampling and slicing in Ableton Live. So I'm going to make a new voice sample. Let's see how we can slice and sample using Futurephonics Rhythmizer in Ableton Live. So I'm just going to right click and slice to new MIDI track. And that's going to be one slice per transient. There we are. And so that has made this clip here. We don't need this clip because Rhythmizer is going to be doing all of the MIDI. So start a new instrument track. Drop Rhythmizer on there. And we're going to have our drum rack here. Let's go for a nice large UI there. Now we need to make sure that drum rack is listening to Rhythmizer. So I'm going to go to Rhythmizer. I'm going to set this to Rhythmizer, and I'm going to be doing in. So that's now monitoring in. And that's if you want to have the new Rhythmizer VST rooted here. Or if you're feeling too lazy, often I am, so you also got the Max for Live device with your download. And you get all these sexy color skins. You can actually just drop that in front of the drum rack, and you don't even have to do any routing. But the VST is nice and new, looking great. So let's do that. Now we want to make a MIDI loop. This is going to be where all of our actual triggering is coming from. C1. So this will be the lowest cell in our drum rack. So we want to go to the chroma scale. That's a chromatic scale. It's every note on the piano. That's what the chromatic scale is, every note on the piano. So we want to choose at random between all the cells that we have. So how many cells did we get? How many slices did we get? We got 32 slices. So we want to choose at random. So we're going to put the steps up here. So we're choosing at random between those 32 slices. The probability is going to be super, super high, like that. If I have a low probability, it's going to be playing mostly the first note and some other notes, which is great for bass lines or synth leads, but not so much for this. And we can have some random velocity. Some random gating, bring the gate right down. Let's set our loop to a dotted. And that really gets you straight to work. We could have a bit of random panning. So if I go to controls, random pan, I'll turn it up just a little bit like that. And I'm going to right click and do copy value to siblings. That's now set them all to random panning. Let's put some random 30 seconds in there. Now you might remember I also use this bend mode. So bend mode is going to send out kind of wobbly pitch data. So let's put the amount up. I'm going to put it on a sine. But you can hear it's now not triggering random samples. It's just triggering that first sample. So we need to use a shift knob to change the sample. We'll change the rate to make it a bit faster. So now I'm sort of scrolling through the sample it's actually listening to with a shift knob. So that's pretty cool. Let's go back to scale mode. Reset that. And what I like to actually do now is just go into all those great groovy packs that come with Ableton and actually just start dropping random drum packs onto my drum rack that I've made here. Most of these drum racks only have 16 cells, so we want to be sampling triggering at random from 16. Bring the volume down a bit. I'm not an expert in drum racks. I'm not sure what number that is, like what cell number, but let's put the steps up really high. I recommend always recording everything that you do. If we get, just record from that drum rack here. Because you never know when you're going to get some awesome output. So now that we've taken a look at that really cool slice and sample trick, I want to show you guys how we can get really cool portamento, really cool bendy notes using Rhythmizer. So I've got CRM here. Let's open up a Rhythmizer. Make it nice and big. Pop this over here. Draw quick loop. There we are. Here's our loop. Now we need to tell CRM to listen to what Rhythmizer is doing. So I'm just going to go to Rhythmizer MIDI output, and then monitor. And it's getting it there. So I'm going to go to minor pentatonic. It's just a very easy scale, no adventurous notes. It's really good for a sort of demo like this. Bring the probability up quite high. Let's bring the steps up. So these are 10 scale notes for minor pentatonic it's playing. Let's get some random velocity going on. And you can see that that's now being registered in CRM. Let's hook that up to a filter. So something like this. Add a bit of resonance. So, portamento. Now, if we bring the gate right down, super short, and we turn the random up, and if we turn it to right up to 100 and then bring the gate up a bit, then that means that the notes will actually be playing longer than a full note. So if you bring it right down here and play it, then the maximum will be a full note that it will trigger. But bring it up here and we'll start getting notes which overlap. You can hear it's almost making sort of chord-like overlap there. We're going to put it on mono. This is monophonic. Most synths will have this. We'll put it in legato, which is going to now mean that we're going to have some sweet portamento going on. So we'll have some nice bendy overlaps. Let's get some quick bit of delay and reverb going on, just so everything sounds a little bit more expensive. We'll get a bit of unison, something like this. And then the key to this really is playing with the portamento time. Get nice quick bends down here. And we'll bring the gate up here. Really, the more often it's going past sort of 100, the more often it's going to be sending overlaps. Set it over 100 and it will always be generating longer overlapping notes. I can set this into bidirectional mode, which means that it will be playing random notes above G, but also below G. I'll put a bit of keyed over on the filter. Maybe play with some of our awesome Xenofreaks wavetables. I quite like the acid ones. You can hear it's because it's bidirectional, we're triggering some super low notes as well. Of course, we can always do ascending notes. Maybe have a more manageable, quick bends when it overlaps. That's getting some nice portamento in Rhythmizer. Thanks for watching.